Hello and welcome to the 11 on 11, our look back at the top stories of the week. We begin with an update on the high-profile murder trial of a Lonoke County Sheriff candidate. We learned this week that Aaron Spencer will stand trial in late June after a decision by the newly appointed judge. Carter Thweet brings us up to date.
New faces, new dates for the man hoping to be the next sheriff here. At the Lonoke County Courthouse Wednesday, a pretrial hearing for Aaron Spencer, the man who won the county's Republican primary for sheriff after killing the man accused of abusing his underage daughter. In January, the Arkansas Supreme Court removed Judge Barbara Elmore from the case and appointed retired Judge Ralph Wilson. Due to national attention on the case and Spencer's campaign, Judge Wilson appointed Roy Ockert as a media representative for the trial.
Today was sort of a get acquainted session for Judge Wilson, who was appointed to the case after it had been started and restarted. So he wanted to see the courtroom and meet the attorneys.
But that's not all that happened. Judge Wilson, who lives in Osceola, made a decision supported by lawyers on both sides on when to hold the trial.
The trial has tentatively been set for June 22nd. And it's expected to last 2 weeks.
There's also a pretrial hearing set for April 29th. One topic that could come up is where to hold the trial. After Wednesday's hearing, Wilson and attorneys toured the Cabot Justice Center, which can hold more people than the Lonoke County Courthouse.
Judge Wilson knows that this is a high-profile case. There's a lot of interest in it in Lonoke County and the surrounding area, a lot of interest in it from the media. He wants to accommodate as many people as possible.
There's also a chance the trial could be moved up 1 week to June 15th if the defense's schedule allows. In Lonoke, Carter Thweet, THV 11 News.
Thank you, Carter. Moving the trial wouldn't be unprecedented. 4 years ago, the high-profile trial of Lonoke County Sheriff's Deputy Michael Davis moved to Cabot Armory. A jury convicted him of negligent homicide in the killing of Hunter Britton during a traffic stop. In other news, one of the stars of the reality series 19 Kids and Counting has been arrested for alleged sex crimes involving a child. Joseph Duggar was arrested by the Bay County Sheriff's Office in Florida and charged with molestation of a victim less than 12, as well as lewd and lascivious behavior conducted by a person 18 years or older. Now to a decision that came after a grueling 10.5-hour marathon hearing. The Peppermint Hippo Adult Entertainment Club remains stripped of its liquor license. State regulators shut the place down last month, and today, all 5 Alcohol Control Board members unanimously upheld that decision. Catherine Rowley details the serious violations that put the club in hot water.
We're obviously very thrilled by the decision of the board to uphold the revocation. I think it was an evidence-based decision. I think Arkansans are safer for it.
The 15 counts against Peppermint Hippo include a 2021 incident where security ejected an intoxicated customer who later died from injuries, plus 9 violations between April and August of 2025, from inappropriate touching and clothing to serving alcohol to an intoxicated person.
We knew that there was a lot of activity that was going on with Peppermint Hippo that was concerning for patrons going in as well as the citizens of Arkansas. So once we started looking in, we discovered additional activity, violations, criminal pending felony investigations. And so based on all of the evidence that we accumulated, we believed that a revocation was the most appropriate measure to take.
The board could have fined the Gentlemen's Club up to $9,400 and placed it on probation or suspended the license. But board members said that penalty wasn't enough given the allegations of fraudulent charges.
One of the first instances that actually put Peppermint Hippo on our radar to kind of jumpstart this investigation was an anonymous source who said he was charged $137,000 in one night. And when you hear that, it's kind of breathtaking for a second, and then when we dove in and we saw that the violations kind of run the gambit of the potential violations, we knew that we were dealing with a revocation situation here because the behavior was just constantly inappropriate and didn't seem like it was going to stop.
Going forward, the board hopes to send a message that these types of violations will not be tolerated.
I don't think that we're out looking to revoke anyone. This was egregious activity, and it should send a message to those that are engaging in that kind of activity that it's not going to be tolerated in Arkansas.
We requested an interview or a comment from Peppermint Hippo's representatives, but we have not received a statement. In Little Rock, Catherine Rowley, THV 11 News.
Thank you, Catherine. The club could have stayed open without a liquor license, but has been closed since the ruling first came down. The company's operating manager told the board today they've already laid off the 90-some employees. Lawyers for the families who sued to have 10 Commandments posters removed from their kids' classrooms are feeling confident a federal judge's decision will hold up. Bo Russell hears from two attorneys on what they think may happen next.
Parents are finally receiving answers after a lengthy legal battle over Arkansas Act 573.
This is final. That's the main thing. It's a final judgment.
The ACLU explains Chief Judge Timothy Brooks declared the law unconstitutional and permanently blocked 6 school districts from enforcing it.
We're happy and our plaintiffs are happy. Our clients are happy.
I asked a legal expert to explain what likely went into Judge Brooks' decision.
It's a violation of a lot of things. Establishment clause, their First Amendment right to free speech. What you do not have the right to do as the government is to mandate those religious beliefs on people.
Attorney Adam Rose says that's exactly what Act 573 did.
What his decision stated, which was basically saying that it is very clear what the intent of this law was, which was to have the state endorse Protestant beliefs.
The ACLU and their plaintiffs agree.
A particular version of the Ten Commandments doesn't even cover all of Christianity or Judaism.
As for what happens next, the Attorney General's office sent a statement saying they plan to appeal the decision.
They get to go to the 8th Circuit Court of Appeals in St. Louis and make their arguments there.
However, Rose says the law is clear.
Go to the Supreme Court if they wanted to take it up. I don't see that happening in this particular scenario. I think the judge was pretty clear on it, and I think the law is incredibly clear on it.
What doesn't seem to be clear is what this decision means for the rest of Arkansas. As of right now, 10 Commandment posters are hanging in the University of Arkansas. A statement from the U of A says in part, the university is not a party to the case, and the Western District of Arkansas injunction only applies to K-12 public school districts. Therefore, the university remains required by state law to continue to display the donated posters.
Judge Brooks' decision only affects the 6 public school districts who joined the case. In Central Arkansas, that includes Conway and Hot Springs Lakeside. A similar law in Louisiana was struck down only to be reinstated on appeal. A Texas law is awaiting a decision from that same 5th Circuit Appeals Court. Arkansas's case will go to the 8th Circuit. Now to Washington, where Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton has introduced a new bill called the Naturalization Accountability Act. The proposal would expand when the government can revoke citizenship from naturalized Americans. Under the bill, any felony conviction before, during, or after becoming a citizen could be grounds for losing citizenship. The measure is expected to spark debate over immigration, national security, and the rights of naturalized citizens. But no timeline has been set for Congress to take it up. Starting in 2027, people on Medicaid will face new work requirements, and national advocates are sounding the alarm about what that could mean here in Arkansas. Carter Thweed explains which patients need to prepare for the rule changes.
They need to be either employed, participating in some type of training program, or involved in education, school, or doing some type of community service or volunteering.
Mary Franklin with the Arkansas Department of Human Services wants to make sure everyone is ready before the requirements begin January 1st. That's why DHS plans to start outreach and testing its systems as soon as this summer.
In Arkansas, we are planning to soft launch this program in July with the goal to educate our clients about what the requirement is.
The bill requires people to work or serve 80 hours a month unless they're currently in school. There are exceptions for caregivers, people with disabilities, disabled veterans, and those who are pregnant, but not for one specific group.
What we're asking for in Arkansas is the governor is to exempt people from HIV from the work requirements. It's not that we don't want them to work, but it's you have no choice.
Carl Schmidt is the executive director of the HIV and Hepatitis Policy Institute in D.C. He says that while many people living with HIV can and do work, some face barriers, and losing Medicaid would be disastrous for the over 6,000 people in Arkansas who have the disease.
Medicaid is just so important for people living with HIV. Around 40% people with HIV in the United States get their health care through Medicaid. That's what's keeping them alive.
Schmid wrote a letter to DHS asking officials to consider a blanket exemption for people with HIV. DHS plans to launch a new website this summer with information about the work requirements and who qualifies for exemptions. Standardized testing season is waiting on the other side of spring break for many students in Arkansas. And for the first time, the reading scores for third graders could mean they would be held back. More on how one district is handling the change next. Welcome back. With April testing approaching, time is running out for some third graders to meet reading requirements. Now teachers and literacy groups are stepping in. Tanya Motorzitsky shows how they're hoping to make a difference one page at a time.
And it has always been our first priority to have kids reading on grade level, but certainly the expectations this year with third grade retention up the ante.
Across Arkansas, schools are focused on reading, making sure students are ready before April testing. This school year marks the first under the Arkansas Learns Act, a law that requires third graders who did not meet literacy standards to repeat the grade. The Arkansas Division of Elementary and Secondary Education has identified third grade as a pivotal moment in a child's academic success. Whitehall Superintendent Gary Williams says out of 300 students, about 12 of those are not making the progress needed for next month's testing. Districts like Whitehall are working hard to ensure every student can read. Williams says they're constantly working with students and families.
They may be a struggling reader, but they're not the same, so we work with them in small group with interventionists on a daily.
He says they're developing a summer tutoring program.
Students, high-quality tutoring that will allow the students to receive some additional support, and then we'll be able to reassess them at the end. And if they make the necessary improvements there, then that will allow them to move on to the next grade.
Other partnerships like Our Kids Can Read aim to support schools, teachers, and families through tutoring, after school, and summer programs. Executive Director Kathy French says the clock is ticking for some families facing extra pressures.
The urgency has increased. I mean, obviously, we want every child reading on grade level, and we want them to have those skills they need. If they don't, what ends up happening is they end up falling farther and farther behind.
This summer, she says they're adding community literacy workshops.
And really, it's to help those caregivers understand what are these words in literacy that people hear about? Like, what is phonics? What is phonemic awareness?
April Reisma with the Arkansas Education Association says these added pressures on teachers are an attack on education and do not improve quality.
It's the system's fault, and we need to improve our system. If we don't put public education on the front burner and take care of it now, it will be nearly impossible to do it in the future.
Reisma says teachers in schools need real support.
We need to take care of those young children, the pre-K, as they're learning those letters and their sounds, and making sure that they understand how to read before they can actually comprehend what they read.
In Little Rock, Tanya Motorzitsky, THV 11 News.
We reached out to the State Department of Education for a comment. They didn't get back to us. Again, testing starts in April. And now to our series, Driving You Crazy, covering traffic changes and road work across Little Rock Metro. Journey Taylor looks ahead to the future of Interstate 57 and a new way to track its progress in real time.
If you've driven through Jacksonville or toward Cabot lately, you've seen the work zones. What you may not realize is you're looking at the future of Interstate 57. The project is split into two major sections, each focused on widening and improving traffic flow.
The first of those is located Main Street to Vanderburg in Jacksonville. That's the 2 miles of widening.
That project starting in the spring of 2023 and is expected to wrap up later this year.
It is running a few months ahead of schedule, but we haven't officially changed the signs because we never want to jinx ourselves. We got to get through this summer and the fall. You never know what might happen.
And while that section nears the finish line, another stretch will take a little longer.
The second widening project begins at Highway 5, where Highway 5 intersects what was formerly 67, and continues about 4 miles north to Highway 89, closer to Cabot.
It started just after the first project and is projected to finish in the second half of 2027.
So when all is said and done, you're going to have that entire section from Jacksonville widened 6 lanes all the way up to Cabot.
But for drivers, the big question is always the same. How long will this take? Now, there's a new way to find out through RDOT's construction dashboard.
We'll show you every construction project in the state, whether it's ongoing, completed, or pending future.
Launched in October of 2025, it's a one-stop shop to track project timelines, costs, and progress all in real time.
Construction dashboard is a great thing. It's still relatively new, but we hope more people like you find it and use it because it's there for you, the citizen.
So whether you're driving it today or planning for tomorrow, the future of I-57 is coming into focus. And now you can follow every step along the way if it's driving you crazy. I'm Journey Taylor, THV 11 News.
Burger time. How I'm going to attack this, I don't quite know yet, but I'm excited to do it. And I think it's going to be fantastic. This week on Eat It Up, we have made our way to Sherwood, just off of Highway 107, sunny side up cafe. Y'all, I love a good breakfast. I love going to a classic cafe and eating all those favorite breakfast items. Hash browns, pancakes with pecans in them, eggs left and right. But don't sleep on the lunch now. We got meatloaf, chicken spaghetti, and a burger about the size of a football. So what do you say? Let's eat it up.
I dreamed this up 8 years ago. I had a donut shop prior to that and said, hey, I'm going to create a breakfast restaurant out here near my house. Between me and my sister-in-law, we came up with a name and it stuck.
Did not want to work here. I come by, my best friend's, Jeff's accountant's my best friend's mom. So she was like, go check it out. I've been here ever since.
I love messing with the customers. I'm always joking with them. That's just something I always do. I pick on everybody. But I want to make them feel like they're at home and enjoy the atmosphere.
The goulash, that's like I tell everybody, it's like slop, a big old hell of slop, because it's what every good hangover needs.
And when they like to throw a couple eggs on it, the omelets are very popular. We got mushrooms, tomatoes, jalapenos, peppers.
We have meatloaf every Wednesday. Thursday's our hamburger steak. Friday's the open-faced roast beef, and Tuesday's taco salad.
Along with the chicken spaghetti, which is made by her, which is out of this world.
And this is what we like to call like Grandma's table, Grandma's kitchen right here with all this amazing stuff. Let's dive in. The classic breakfast, including the sunny side up eggs. It's like coming home. Been staring at it. Better yet, this omelet's been staring at me. Full of absolute flavor and everything you could ask for. Sissy knows what she's doing. So Sissy told me, you're having my French toast, you're getting it, you're trying it. And all I gotta say is yes, ma'am. No problem there. This loaf loves meatloaf. When I get done with this meatloaf, I'm gonna be a loaf, so I'm gonna be passed out on the chair, passed out on the couch, just digesting and enjoying. Smash burger in paradise. Cheers. I'm gonna really bite the whole thing now, but I'm not gonna show you on camera, so cut. Couldn't even get all the way around.
Welcome back. Downtown Little Rock is going through noticeable redevelopment. City leaders have labeled it a top priority for growing the region. Tamer Knight has more about what's changing in the capital city.
We believe it's really important to make downtown a 24-hour economy.
Downtown Little Rock is experiencing a renewed sense of redevelopment.
When you look at cities across America that have done a really good job of redevelopment, it's not just as an 8 to 5 market, and it's not just as a 5 to midnight market on the weekends.
Jay Cheshire of the Little Rock Regional Chamber says city officials are working to bring vibrant local businesses, modern living spaces, and a community-focused design to transform the area into a thriving hub.
And you look at the city becoming river facing instead of river backing.
I spoke to a new business owner coming to downtown Little Rock, Ike's Scooter Rental. Delvon Aaron says he's excited to bring something new all the way from El Dorado, Arkansas to downtown Little Rock.
I'm excited about it. I think it'll have a great impact. Like I said, it's gonna be something new and something fun for all age groups. It's been on my mind to expand and come to Little Rock or to a bigger city and things like that. So I knew Little Rock ain't had these. Well, nobody in Arkansas have these here. So I decided to come up here and try it out.
The Fat Tire scooters are available for rent for family gatherings, large groups, or individuals, offering an experience to further explore the downtown area.
These right here is gonna be $35 an hour. And these right here is going to be $45 an hour.
And Chester says more business owners like Aaron are noticing the opportunities for success.
So it's a really good opportunity from a momentum perspective to capture not only people that are already here wanting to reinvest in downtown, but also bringing in people from the outside, recognizing what a good investment this is because they see the value of downtown Little Rock.
And downtown Little Rock, Tamer Knight, THV 11 News.
And that's it for the 11 on 11. You can find all of these stories right now on THV11.com. We'll see you next week.